How we doing, everybody? This is AJ Torres from Calling Strikes, courtesy of Undrafted Sports, and right now, feeling very good. Fortunately, I couldn't have Matty K join us, but we have DeFran join us, and say it with me. His name is
El
Mago.
Mago. Woo!
So I will admit, I'm trying to play neutral ground here, but I'm just thinking to myself, you know what? Game one of the series, the Yankees, I didn't expect much, so I'm just trying to flip through, see what's going on. And I'm very surprised. I mean, Paddock, oh my goodness, man. I actually thought Jock Peterson was going to own him because there's a couple of pitches where I'm just kind of like, did you really just throw that at Jock Peterson?
Yeah, there's a couple of fastballs down the middle that he missed by this much.
Yeah, like that one where it literally like swooped foul. I mean, it hooked way to the right because he was too early on it. But I'm like, you just threw Jack Pearson 96 miles an hour. You're gonna get toasted, man. Like what on earth are you doing? That is not smart at all.
One of the few Cubs that didn't hit a home run today. So probably tomorrow. He'll get one tomorrow, I'm sure.
Oof. Jeez.
It
was interesting, man. Seeing Stewart start because there's a lot of injuries going on. The bullpen was solid today, and usually when you think of Cubs, you don't think of the bullpen. Kimbrel got himself a day of rest. But, I mean, a lot of interesting things going on. Seeing Bryant hit the ball very well, of course. Javy Baez, before today, I came in and I was just going through statistics, just kind of going what's going on. And it didn't surprise me that Joey Gallo led the league in strikeouts for batters right now. Yeah. But seeing Javy Baez at number 2, that really surprised me.
Yeah.
It really did.
He needs to work on his plate discipline a little bit. I think he was more disciplined today.
I agree.
There was a couple of full counts that he worked himself into. Obviously, those 2 home runs, good pitches to hit. But if he could get his plate discipline better, him and KB are going to be so dangerous on the left side of the infield. It's unfair.
Absolutely. And plus, Jack Peterson, I mean, he was hurt for a little bit, and I think he's got to get his timing back.
Yeah.
Now, I think Jock, I mean, it's clear. If you didn't know his weaknesses, I've actually seen it. The breaking pitches, he has a hard time identifying. And any of those breaking fastballs, like those sinkers, those cutters, those 2 seams that spin off, he has a hard time with it. But if it's a straight fastball or a fastball with not a lot of movement, he can hit the thing. The ball will fly.
Absolutely.
So that's the thing. Now, do I like Jock in the leadoff spot? No, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, the Cubs lineup right now has got between the free agency coming up, it's a walk year for a lot of guys. I mean, we'll see how that gets constructed. But I mean, Ian Happ's got a little work to do.
Yeah,
Chris Bryant playing first base for crying out loud. I mean, it's crazy.
One of the things that's so encouraging is that we're playing great baseball now. You know, we just beat a great Padres team, very talented. We're playing great baseball, and we have half our team on the IL. Hayward's on the IL. Rizzo, Nico Horner. We've got Duffy on the IL. Like, we have so many guys that are just injured or, have been banged up, and we're still playing this great baseball. It's really encouraging because when you get into, October baseball in the postseason and you get guys banged up, you need the guys on the bench to step up. And we really have had great people step up. You saw today with Wisdom stepping up, hit 2 home runs. He's really been solid these last couple of days. Against the Reds, had some good plate appearances. So very, very encouraging signs from the Cubs so far.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to come down to the Cubs, the Cards, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Brewers.
I think the Brewers are.
I thought it was everybody but Pittsburgh, but I mean, the Reds are right now, they're 5.5 games back, which, not surprising. But I thought it was going to be the Cards first, and I thought it was going to be a little bit of a battle. But right now, they're just playing good baseball, and, even got guys stepping up. Like, I'm pretty sure, I certainly didn't hear about Wisdom before I was watching the game today. 3 hits today.
Yeah.
Off a staff that they're not a bunch of scrubs. They're not.
No, and that's the thing. I think those key contributions from those little-known guys. I mean, had you heard of guys like Matt Duffy before today or before, a couple weeks ago? I think guys like those, like just those really
I remember him as a Ray, actually.
Right. But he's fairly under the radar.
Yeah.
The radar, get it? I had to, sorry. But it's
Bad
just those
puns.
Sam gets on me on my puns all the time. So I'm sorry. Sorry, Sam, if you're watching this. I had to do that. But man, he left his chair the other day when we were recording. But it's just very encouraging to me. I'm very happy. And shout out Friar Talk. It's gonna get personal here for a second. Watch your guys' preview. Love the preview. You're kind of disrespecting the Cubs a little bit. You talked about KB, but you didn't really acknowledge El Mago. You didn't acknowledge Jock. You didn't acknowledge Patrick Wisdom. Like all of those guys, you just kind of forgot to mention. Well, they made sure that you know their names, and we'll make sure that we sweep this series here in a couple days.
I got one thing to say, and this is actually kind of funny. No, I did not expect Javy to hit 2 bombs today. Chris Bryant got a triple and a home run today. That was very noticeable. But I'm kind of thinking to myself, to the fan of the Chris Bryant and a home run, and Will Myers did get splashed with a little bit of the beer. But what is with people in America trust in plastic? I understand that, it takes a lot of years to, have it biodegradable. It's a hard, stubborn substance and everything else. But if we go by the last month or so, we got people putting, gasoline in the trash bags thinking it's going to hold. And now we got a dumb Cubs fan right in front of the net. Did you really think, or did he really think that he was going to catch a home run from Chris Bryant with a plastic cup?
I don't understand. Beer? I just don't understand.
Did he really think that?
It doesn't make sense to me. And I don't know about you, AJ, but every time I go to a baseball game, I make sure to bring a glove. God forbid they hit a foul ball or a home run to me. I got my glove. I'm ready to go. So I think that's just his punishment for not bringing a baseball glove. And congratulations, you don't have any beer, and you got humiliated on national television. So
that's a $10 to $15 beer. Now, I know that he got the ball back, of course, but it's funny because I've been trying to get a couple guys on the podcast, and some of them are ball hawks, and some of them it's like, if you're Covey Dave, which is one guy I've tried to get on the show. Last time I spoke out to him, he wasn't feeling well, but that guy, he doesn't have a glove because he's kayaking, which is understandable. And then we got guys like Moneyball Steve, Deep Left, Bobby Crosby. Those guys are ball hawks, and they bring their gloves, they custom make them. They catch them. They give them to kids. I mean, it's not a bad thing to bring your glove to a ball game. It's not an insult. They're like, oh, why do grown ass men bring their gloves to the game? They're not kids. Would you rather have them bring a giant sign?
Yeah, or break your hand catching a foul ball. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I really know how to catch using my hat, but still.
Yeah, but the hat's a lot more sturdy than a beer cup.
Well, I mean, still, it's like you go here, and you just flow with it. I've been doing that ever since I was a kid.
Right. I mean,
you just grab it by the brim, you go down just like you're tagging a runner, stealing second base, and you're the middle infielder.
Yeah.
And you just go with it. I've seen some guys barehanded, but it's like some of these guys, I'm like, okay, if you're 50 and you haven't played baseball in a while, why are you trying to barehand it?
Bring a glove. Just don't embarrass yourself.
You got to work tomorrow, buddy. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, that'll be a fun story to explain to your boss how you broke your hand at a Cubs game because you didn't.
It's like you handicapped. Hurting, sir, but not handicapped.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then wrap that up and get back to work.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I think getting back to the Cubs, the only, I think, Padres player that had a nice day was Fernando. Obviously, he's a good shortstop. Whatever, I'm not going to compliment him too much. ESPN does that for us. But he had the home run. He had the ground ball that was an error. Whatever. And he had that really nice slide into the base. And I gotta say, he's stealing a lot of his moves from Javier Baez. I'm just seeing it. Like he's stealing that from El Mago. I'm sure he put on some Javi highlights before the game, try to replicate his style, but. Javi's been doing that for years, and everybody wants to praise Tatis because he's the new kid on the block. But I think Javi invented it, man. Javi was a cool base runner before Tatis was.
Well, I just think that there's some guys that just help reinvent the game, and there's some guys that just kind of do it. Now, I think Javi is the guy that brought the swim move into the game. Like, I've seen some guys, like, put their hands out front, then reach back, and then put the R1 on.
Yeah.
But he's actually got a move where you slide with one hand, they try and tag the arm, and he just swims and tries to go around.
Yeah.
Now that is a move that I think he basically, I guess you could say trademark, but it's kind of one of those things like, I do a lot of general labor for a living. It's like one company, we know what a sawzall is. One company trademarks it and everything knows it by something else.
Right.
I think Javy trademarked the swim move, but there's a lot of people that use it to their advantage. Why? It's simply because it works.
Right. So
I think it's just guys reinventing the game. But either way, these guys are phenoms, they're stars. And I think that they're just great for baseball. It's like, hey, if they want to bear the game, they want to introduce a new move, I have no trouble with that. If they want to feed off each other and make this a good rivalry into baseball, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that Javy and Tatis, they're great for the game. Bringing in new fans, bringing in, the maybe not. I think we'd both consider each other to be pretty diehard baseball fans, regardless. But bringing in those new fans, that new generation, I think is very good. So, they're very appreciative to those guys for it. Obviously, Tatis is doing that more so now, than because he's like the face of baseball at the moment. But he's great for baseball. So I can't hate on Tatis, but beating him is still a really good feeling, obviously.
So are you just going to gloat about the Cubs are a better team than the Padres, or are you just excited that it's a holiday and everything else? I mean,
well, yeah.
Where are you going with this, man? Because you're trying to say that Javy's the best shortstop in baseball right now. You got a couple of guys riled up.
Yeah. I get guys riled up all the time by the stuff I say.
Yes, you do.
Do want to say Happy Memorial Day, obviously, to everybody watching out there. I think nothing is more American than sitting back watching some baseball on a Memorial Day. Just a great feeling. But I think before I kind of get into the future of the series, I want to mention that I've had extensive conversations with Matt this whole week leading up to that. We've been talking our crap back and forth to each other, and he had some choice words on his Friar Talk podcast. So I'm just returning the favor and letting him know the truth about what's going on, and looking forward to the next 2 games of the series.
So I actually got a text from Matt, and I'm just like, is there anything you want to say to Mike? He's live right now. So I'll just kind of go with this. I'll give him a minute or so. But as far as this Cub team, is there any right now they're winning. But is there anything I guess you could say that you really don't think about the playoffs or not until I want to say the end of June. And then there comes the trade talks. Now, there's some teams that are picking up the phone daily. Like if you're the New York Mets and if you think you could get a guy who's decent because of all the injuries, I understand that part. If you're the Yankees, because you're not hitting right now, you're having those phones go all day long. So when you're the Cubs, right, you have holes on this team. You have a lot of – and the reason why I say holes is you don't have unproven – you have unproven talent there. So it's like if you go by a guy like Wisdom, right, it's like, okay, right now he's playing well. How is he going to perform in July? We don't know. Is Sogard still good, or is he mediocre? Something like that.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got it.
He's here?
No, unfortunately, he's busy at the moment, but this is what we got.
Okay.
I can't say anything. LOL. I was talking too much shit earlier. Ha ha.
Yep. Sounds about right. And I appreciate it.
I swear to you, the two of you guys, right? You're like those guys where it's like it's a cartoon or an anime where two guys got fire in their eyes. They look like they're about to punch each other in the face, but yet one wins and one guy's sobbing, being like, and the other guy's just like, that's right. Yeah. You suck. I won.
It's just the nature of our sports. Yeah. Our football teams hate each other.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Now, you lose against McCanna, but Matt, I think it seems about even.
Hey, don't tell McConnell you said that. We're not talking to McConnell about that, but it's just nature because our football teams hate each other, right? I mean, we're talking almost daily shit about Niners Seahawks. It's literally almost every single day we're talking shit about each other. And so when
you guys have the friendliest rivalry I've ever seen, to be honest
absolutely,
with you.
absolutely, it's daily shit talking. But I think when we don't play the Padres all the time, so when we get a chance to play the Padres, it's a fun time for us. I mean, we got to take full advantage of it. And I know I definitely am taking full advantage of it. I've been going crazy this whole day. So
is this ever going to extend where the Bulls rarely play the Clippers?
Let's not bring up basketball. I was in a good mood. Please don't bring up basketball right now.
No, I'm just saying for the future, and I'm thinking positive about the future.
Well,
and by the way, as far as the Flippers go, there's going to be an interesting article because if the Mavs drop this series, there's actually a curse going on in NBA playoffs. Newsflash. During NBA playoffs, bubble or not, do not attend the titty bar.
Yeah.
You saw what happened with the Clippers after Lou Will, that series. We saw what happened with Porzingis. They're calling him Pandemic P now.
Yeah.
My goodness. So, again, basketball players, playoff time, stay out of the titty bar.
Stay out of the titty bar. Sounds like solid advice. But, yeah, basketball, not as much because, the Bulls aren't very good. Seahawks and Cubs are very good, and the Padres and Niners are good. So it's fun. It's competitive, right? If the Bulls play the Clippers today, I wouldn't have much ammo. I would just be like, oh, Zach LaVine won the dunk contest.
Well, hey, we'll find out because if the Bulls get a good draft pick and if Kawhi leaves, then what?
Hey, I'll bring Kawhi. I'll talk. Matt might have to block me if the Bulls sign Kawhi Leonard. Matt would have to block me because I would.
I think you have a better chance of piloting a plane, but okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But back to the Cubs, like you asked before, Matt texted you really quick. Come the trade deadline, I mean, we're in a really interesting spot because beginning of the year we were struggling heavy, and they were saying, "Oh, sell the farm, trade Javy, trade KB, get assets, build for the future." And recently,
you can't say that during the COVID year. If there's 60 games,
right?
Well, the reason being is because we've seen how the Cubs have gone this hot. It's like, okay, in May you've won what, 20 games?
Yeah,
something like that. So it's like if you go by 2 months of baseball, okay, and with off days, everything like that, that's essentially what you have. A little more than 2 months of baseball. Assume 1 month you're going to lose 16 games. Okay, so we've won 8 games this month? Yeah. Oh, we started off a bad 20 games. Let's sell everything. I saw guys bring up prospects, and I'm like, I understand it's anybody's game, but why would you waste their service time? Because if you go by the percentage of service time they have,
right,
I wouldn't risk it. I mean, with these guys debuting rookies and everything else, and I'm just saying to myself, why would you do that? It's like you take away the last year of team control potentially. No, I'm not doing that.
And the big thing is just with the contracts coming up, Javy is going to get paid, KB is going to get paid, right? But I think they're playing at a level right now where it's like, why wouldn't you keep these guys? Why? Because this team now.
But you think they're playing above their level? Because you got to go by hot streak as well as cold streaks. Because if I'm just saying, I hope this doesn't happen, but if Chris Bryant gets in one of those streaks where he goes 0 for 20, and he's got to try and adjust his timing a little bit, and he's going to have to work himself back up. He's not going to be batting over 300 anymore. It's going to be probably 280 or so. Which, he's the best hitter on the team right now on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
But either way, I remember him denying $200+ million. I think he's looking for a $300 million range. I mean, let's be honest. He's one of the Vegas boys. It's Bryce Harper, Bryant, and Gallo. Now, I think if you're paying Gallo $300 million, I think you're stupid. I think you're absolutely stupid.
No defense, and bad K numbers. Absolutely not.
I mean, he is fast and he is athletic, but if you go by his defense, I mean, is he good out there? Yeah, but do you like the arm? It could be improved. And we know how he is the strikeout king in this league. Mm-hmm. I understand if you put him in a smaller ballpark because, I mean, the Texas Rangers stadiums only have huge ballparks.
Right.
Listen, they keep linking him to the Yankees, and I'm thinking to myself, you are out of your mind. What the heck? They've ever since Chase Headley was there, I want to say they've been linked to Gallo since like 2000, 15 or 16, and it hasn't happened then. It's not going to happen now. I
Yeah.
don't know why it would happen, but if you look at his numbers and what he puts to the table, I don't think there's any chance you could pay that guy big money. He's going to be lucky if he gets a qualifying offer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you look at Chris Bryant and if you look at Javy, I don't know how the Cubs could simply just hand out, well, combined total, it's looking like 500 to 600 million dollars.
Right.
Now, I don't know what you give Javy.
That's
I mean,
interesting. It's
what do
very
you?
interesting.
I understand what Chris Bryant wants.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. But if you look at Javier Baez, and if you think to yourself, okay, let's look at the numbers. If we go by a career, he's a 264 hitter, an on base of just over 300. I mean, what kind of money are you looking at here, Mike?
Hey AJ, give me 1 second. I have to take a phone call really quick, and I'll be right back. All right.
All right.
I'll be right back. Hold up.
All right. But just to recap everything while he takes a quick call, I think that Javy Baez, I mean, do I think it's in the $200 million range? Yes. Do I think it could be similar to a JD Martinez contract? We're going 5 years, 115 million. I think they do it, but even then, Chris Bryant, what are you going to do about that? I think it's going to be I mean, it's just tough because you got to add so much money to the bank all in one hit, and then who else is going to stay around? Let's see. I'm going to pull up the payroll for a moment. If we go by the payroll for this year, this is a spot track right now. With his last year before arbitration, Chris Bryant's making $19.5 million. We also have Rizzo, I believe that's up for free agency. I mean, this is going to be just wild. So many guys to keep. What can you do? And if you keep Rizzo, that's potentially another big contract. I mean, wow. Mind you, Jason Hayward's still on the books. That is a lot, a lot, a lot. That's just a boatload of money. I keep looking at this because if we go by the big heavy hitters, well, it goes more than these two guys, but the ones talked about are Javy and KB. Bryant, Rizzo, Kimbrel, Baez. Looks like Jockwood is going to be back, and for his option, I think I would take it because I don't know his market. I think somebody else would. I don't think they'd pay him that much. Jake Arrieta, he might come back next year. He might not. But looking at these contracts, wow, the Cubs do need a serious build. But again, the Jason Hayward contract, obviously a bust, and he's 31 years old right now, pushing 32. Just looking at the contracts they're eating $3 million for Darvish, which is not bad at all. That's the biggest one. Just what are we going to do? This year total, can I get the final number? We're at 155 million. $155 million. So can you add, let's see. If we go by Rizzo making 16.5, Bryant making 19.5, Kimbrel making 14, I think he could potentially get a raise, if not the same. That's going to potentially be about $50 million.
Do those two get together again?
Absolutely.
I got distracted so bad at the last.
But if we're going by Chris Bryant, let's see. We got to pull these up right now. I mean, jeez. I've always liked him. I actually thought he was going to be the next Derek Jeter, but more versatile. Vegas born. Let's see. Career average of 283, career on base of 382. If we go by career numbers, let's see. Sorry if you hear any dogs barking. But let's see. Total 153 home runs, 836 hits out of almost 3,000 at bats. Career WAR of 27.9, 36 stolen bases. If you look at him as a whole, he does look great. He just does. Now, if we want to go by down year, up year, what was expected, I mean, I guess you could. But I seriously don't see a guy. I mean, his lowest average one year was, it was kind of last year with 206, but that whole team was struggling. And that's what really tanked it. I mean, wow. And I think that's what a lot of people are skeptical about. But is he solid? Is he great? Absolutely. So I have no idea what's happening with DeFran at the moment. But, oh, well, let's just keep waiting. Let's just keep going. Oh, just say be back in 5. Okay. So, in other news about the Chicago Cubs, let's see if we can get some injury updates. And there's been a couple of freak injury updates going on in baseball. In fact, Mookie Betts actually had an allergic reaction. He had a hard time opening up his eyes. And I will say this. If you were on a team like the Red Sox or the Yankees, they would be ripping you to kingdom come. They'd be like, oh, you're a bum. Take some Claritin and get on the field. Well, he's an outfielder. Hello. If he can't open his eyes, how's he going to read the ball when everything's going to be up in the air? Don't you want him at 100%? You got the depth. Use it. Give the guy a day off. Oh, well. Let's see. If we go by, there we go, NL Central. Let's try and see if we can get some injury updates. So Trevor Williams had appendicitis. We shall see what happens there. I mean, please, best of luck going on. That's why Cole Stewart, I got to give him credit because he really handled the workload great against a great team. David Bowe, that slide that was into the first baseman, I believe, I saw him grab his shoulder, and I wasn't sure what it was. I thought it was absolutely crazy. I thought it was absolutely bonkers. But I didn't think it would be a dislocation. Oh, it was a slide in the second. That's right. I think he went into – that's right. That's right. So if we go by that, who knows how long a dislocation could be because then you got to heal up from that. I mean, the bus that's coming from Iowa to Chicago, I think that guy's making – the bus driver's making some good overtime. But let's see. Anthony Rizzo with his lower back tightness is expected back any day. 6 straight games, but going through drills, going through work, making sure he's 100%. You need that. You need him at 100%. Same thing with Trevor Williams. If you're not 100% and you're trying to go through the motions, don't do it. But let's see. It says on David Bowe from the location that the injury is less damaging than initially thought. Well, that's amazing. Let's see. Marisnik, hamstring, expected back. Let's see. It's about June. Him and Hayward are expected back early June. Let's see. Alec Mills. This one is tough. The other day, pitched 4 innings down in Iowa, allowing 2 runs, 5 hits, striking out 5, and a 4-0 loss. And let's see. I think he's going to need to get back to full strength a little bit. I think he's 1 or 2 away. Let's see. Nico, Miguel. Whoever is trying to go with the training things, I'm not sure who's the trainer here, but there's something going on with these hamstring injuries, and it's blowing my mind right now. Absolutely blowing my mind. I mean, it's kind of sickening. It really is. Because if you go by just down the line, okay? Down the line. We got Marisnik, Hayward, Nico, McGill, Steele. 5 guys, all got hamstring injuries. What's going on leg day? What do we got? What's happening? I don't know. But everyone tells me this. If 1 guy gets it, 2 guys get it, it's part of the game, part of training. If it's anything that's lower, anything that's more than that, it seems to be a training issue. At least they say that in other sports. That's football, that's hockey, that's basketball. I understand that people, they talk down the trainers. They do a lot. And they say that, these guys aren't important. But at the end of the day, everyone's got a job to do. And if everybody is going down with the same injury, when is it becoming a player problem and then becoming a staff problem? That I do not know. There's not an answer to it. It just seems to be you got to write everything down. And some of the stuff does feel convenient. But I'd have to consult the trainer and see what's going on. Maybe guys are going too hard on leg day. But I remember this, and I remember hearing workout tips from Mark Teixeira, one of the great hitting first basemen. Not saying Hall of Famer by any stretch, but a respectable name. And one of the things he said, he goes, listen, you could go heavy in the offseason, but you go light during the season. So I saw his workout routine, and I know he's a lot bigger than me. I know he's got a lot of muscle mass, but his workouts were absolutely, in my thought, crazy. There's a whole YouTube video of his workout routine. I think that's during the off season, but he says he does that same routine, but goes later on the weights. But there's times where you got to remember this. You cannot replace rest. You could get a massage, you could get a massaging gun, but you can never replace rest. Hey, my man.
Hey, AJ.
My man, what's up?
I got to take off real quick, but I'm down to do this later tonight or tomorrow if you want.
All right. So, I actually just got one question before we go. I think that's a good way to wrap it up. But when you see 5 guys on the IL with all hamstring injuries, when does that become a player issue than when it becomes a trainer issue? You got 5 guys all with hamstring injuries, and it does seem awfully convenient. Are these guys going too hard on leg day? Or what's I
think it's a combination of going too hard on leg day and maybe the team doctor that punctured Tyrod Taylor's lungs is now working for the Cubs. So obviously,
don't tell me we gotta get Terry in here.
Yeah, no. I think Patrick Wisdom or something. His dad is the team doctor. Wanting to give him an opportunity or something. But I'm just kidding. But
you imagine it's just like, hello, sir. I am Dr. Wisdom.
Yeah. Cubs are like, wait a minute, something's not right here.
Imagine if it was just something ironic, like imagine if it was something outrageous like Patty.
Yeah.
Patty Wisdom, MD.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I tell you what, you enjoy yourself, and I'll get this uploaded tonight. Everybody, this is AJ Torres from Calling Strikes. Thank you to DeFran for coming on. This is Undrafted Sports.
Happy Memorial Day.
See you next time. Happy Memorial Day. God bless America. Take it easy.